Hi everyone. Today I want you to recall how did you feel when you went to buy your first school bag on the first day of school? How did you feel when you went to bought your first dress or probably in the college? How did you feel when you got all the essentials you have to go to your first job interview and so on, the first date, maybe the wedding day and all the important occasions of your life? Just ask yourself, did you take an extra effort on your image, how you are looking, how you want to behave, how you want to communicate? And yes, that is all about the ABC of the image building: appearance, behavior, communication. Well, we take care of all these things on our important days. Why not making each day of your life important? Today, I just pondered upon when we actually live like making each day of the life important, how it feels like we will dress beautifully, we will be in high vibes, and we'll do all the good things that make us feel good ultimately. So, what is this power of image that can transform our whole life? The image which ultimately influence the entire structure of our life, and yes, which carves the identity of us. According to statistics, it take hardly 7 seconds to have a judgment about anyone. It could be first or it could be closure of so many new things out there. In my career span of 2 decades, while I'll deal with personal transformation and peak performance, everyone come to me, asking upon how we build an image, so called how we build a portray a powerful image. Well, I'll say what we are, we portray. But at the time, isn't it happen that sometimes you perceive that you are not what other people perceive of you? So how to, bridge the gap between who you are and what people think of you? That is the power of image. At times, you have some perpetual meets when you really don't have time to explain who you are. What is your intelligence in years? What is your work ethics? What is your work experience so far? What will help then? The image that you carry throughout the years. When people know that, yes, she's the one, he's the one, and if he's saying something, it is worth it to believe. That is the power of image. And not just this. Let me do an activity with you today. Describe yourself in 3 words, who you really are. Just think upon when who I should be: creative, curious, confident, haphazard, clumsy, disorganized, iconic, ideal, and somebody who people look forward to, or simply supportive, kind, honest, what people think of me. And just think the image that we carry, the story that we are building each day with each of our gesture, each of our clothing, body language, looks, everything that we carry. How does it matter to us? Are we giving the right signals? Well, create the image that defines you in the most authentic way. It is so important. It is so important each day to ponder upon what is the purpose of my life and am I behaving in the right manner accordingly? Let me take back to you to a classmate of mine. I just remembered one of my classmates back in 80s when we were in school out there and was very timid, had limited opportunity, was very introvert out there, and the entire structure of the family and the environment back then was that there was nobody to, really motivate you to go out with flying colors. Well, however, she used to portray herself. That was the opportunity she used to get. 80 born, coming around in back 10 years ago, starting the entrepreneurship journey. When I just bumped into in a conference with her, she was completely changed. I was so happy to see her. And what she told me that, I never had that opportunities while I was in my school, while I went to my teens or my campus life. But I just focused upon that the way I portray myself, that is the amount of people and the opportunity I am getting in my life. Ladies and gentlemen, it all comes down to what we want from life. We all want success. But isn't it that every next level of us, the success definition also changes for us? Every next level of us, every next day, we need to focus on our image according to where I want to be. I have to evolve myself. Back to my friend. Well, there was a phase when she did everything, focusing upon from her appearance to behavior to communication, the clothes she wear, how she speaks, and everything. And it changed the entire story. Every day she was getting up with new opportunities. Her way of life was all about recording podcast, keynotes, global invitations, conferences, and so on and so forth. A phase which is very, very booming, a phase where you sometimes have a little gap between impact builder and the influencer, the word which is buzzing today. But what next? I just went for a chit chat on her 40th birthday, midlife. What I saw was completely different story. How she perceived herself today was completely different. She was like that I am facing a different distinction of my life, a different dimension in each sphere, be it relationship, be it family, be it career. And everything is getting so demanding that somewhere I'm losing myself in all these demands. Was it really something I related to? Because seeing the transformation which I did recently, I said, what exactly happened? But yes, in the mid of all the societal demands, at times, it's never that, it's always a fun fantasy word. The only thing which is constant is change. Rest, everything is evolving. What you saw sometime being at probably at the peak of your career, at times you're directionless. I believe you all can also relate to it. So, what to do then? Where is the shift? How we again motivate our own self to build that image, to build ourselves that again we attract opportunities. At times, there's so many in my whole career span that people come over and ask upon. I was in the boom of my career, but due to responsibilities, motherhood, or somehow the change in career, the economy cycle, I am not there. I feel I'm missing. There is some vacuum in my life. But then what to suggest them? Suggesting them to completely focusing upon their skill set. That is what is required. The focusing upon their skill set, which is their ultimate image. I'm not talking about the superficial, just appearance, behavior, communication. That is very important. Focusing upon communication since almost 20 years, that's probably the first and foremost. But ultimately, what matters now, let me focus upon that. Something which ponders me day and night. People do so much to build their image all their life. But then, why there is change in their career span? Why they feel that they are being left out, and there's so many in this world of influencer who is, creating a buzz out there. What is the real question? Let's make a shift in our mindset today. Ladies and gentlemen, we all are born unique. Original is original, and Xerox will always be the Xerox only. So, what is the shift which sets you apart? Is it all about having that perfect selfie or to discover your own self with every move of yours? The shift is from self doubt to conviction. The shift is from that breakdown to breakthrough. The shift is moving from that fear every time, that what next, to the faith that wherever I go, I will make out no matter what. The power of image can transform you completely here. So it's very important, like the first day of the school, like your first day of the college, like your first job interview, treating every day while you step out for work, treating as a first day. The first day where I have to show my best. I have to show up no matter what. And that is the rule I am following. And I tell each one who comes to me. The way you build your image is writing your story. Your story, ladies and gentlemen, no one else. Your success, your failures that we own in our life. That is what we do day and night. Probably one day I don't want to be out of my comfort zone. That is my own choice. And the other day, I am ready to rock with fire. That is also my own choice. There's no one else who's governing it. That is your image. That once you are there, you're there to rock the world. Let me share with you the 5 C's which revolve my life. Well, curiosity, that's the germ of all. Being curious and keeping the child in you alive, curious to learn, curious to experiment, curious to try. Confidence, which you own day and night. Nobody is born with it. You need to build it up as your muscle. And creativity, to see life with different perspective altogether. Well, each and everything is like bread and butter for me. Clothing, which definitely rules how people perceive you, how you perceive your own self, and ultimately how you communicate with people. Communication, definitely the quality of communication directly affects the quality of your life. And yes, the challenges. Last but not the least, that's the most important part because it is the challenge, ladies and gentlemen, which tell you the part of you which you never knew. It is the rock bottom that you face which tells you that this is your potential. And I would love to tell you, if you're going through the rough, path in your life, any rough patch, trust me, there's a divine calling that there's something bigger He's evolving you with. Well, while we are learning how the power of image transform us, the entire identity, our life, our success, our career path, the people we meet, I just tell you that we should, do a 5 checks every day and night. The image is ultimately your character, your reputation, your identity. So yes, vibe check. You need to check how I'm feeling, your energy, which the energy you yourself come in this room with, because that is what you will attract the people with. Your perspective about the things, what you feel, what perspective you think, probably completely be opposite of what other thing, and that doesn't matter at all. Your perspective is yours. Your ethics, your work ethics, your principles which go long run with you, and your work. Ultimately, for me, I want to be remembered for my work throughout my life and thereafter. So that is what builds your image. I'll just say and sum up here by saying we need to dream big. We hear that it should be intrinsic motivation, so on and so forth. But ultimately, when we do little checks in our life, every bit becomes a habit. So, wishing that we all build an image, not for just for the social media, for the people outside, but for our own self, so that when we look at the mirror, we are proud of our own self. Thank you.